Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. Today we're going to get you ready here, hopefully for week 14, but today's episode is going to be our fantasy trends episode, which we've been doing lately. Today's trend is Lamar Jackson. Why does he suck so bad? I don't think I'm going to title it that, but what is wrong with Lamar Jackson? What's going on with Lamar Jackson? So I went and pulled up some numbers here. Let's look at weeks 10 through 13. He played 3 of those 4 games, but I want to look at points per game. What's he been doing here? And he is down the list here, Jeff. He's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18th in those 4 weeks in points per game. Behind Andy Dalton, his points per game actually would be behind Mason Rudolph's one game Mason Rudolph played, which is kind of ridiculous. He's behind Zach Wilson, Heineke, Trevor Simeon's ahead of him in points per game. What is going on here? So Lamar's those games we're talking about. Played against Miami, 238 yards, a touchdown, 1 pick. So, okay, 17 points. Against Cleveland, 165 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 picks. Then this past game, 253 yards, a touchdown, and 1 pick against Pittsburgh. Rushing in those games, 39 yards, 68 yards, 55 yards. So he's not getting like 100. No rushing touchdowns. He's only had, this is an interesting stat for Lamar Jackson, 2 rushing touchdowns this year. They both came in week 2 against Kansas City. Oh, are we trusting him? Goes against Cleveland again this week, who he just scored 11.4 against. I don't know. I don't know if I do trust him right now. And I have him on my team. I got to roll with him. I traded for him a few weeks ago thinking he's going to be, great. And this is what's happened. So I don't know, Jeff. How are you feeling about Lamar?
I mean, not good. Your only hope here, because his schedule doesn't get that much easier, right? You go Cleveland, then you go Green Bay and Cincinnati. None of them are poor against the pass, and Green Bay, they can defend in general too. So I don't think he's going to completely run over any one of these teams. Cincinnati earlier in this year, at week 7, he did an all right job. He was in the mid 20s. He did as far as standard scoring. He had 12 rushes for 88 yards, and he had 257 yards with only 1 touchdown. So once again, not something that you feel uber confident about.
Right.
It all depends on who else you have. But if you have another quality starter, I probably would go that way. I just don't like the way that Baltimore is really playing at the moment for fantasy purposes. They don't need him to score a ton. He really, in very few games has he thrown a lot of touchdowns. A couple of games he's gone really off. It's like 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. Most of them are just 1.
So he's thrown 1 touchdown in all but 2 games.
So I actually nailed it.
So he had a 4 touchdown game against the Colts, 442 yards, 4 touchdowns. Against Minnesota, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. Every other game, 1 touchdown. And that's with only 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, wow. It's actually really amazing that he's in the top 10. I mean,
and he was number 1 up until a couple of weeks ago. I think 1 or 2. He was way up there up until the Miami game.
Yeah, he had a couple that really launched him. I mean, he had like 50 points in standard scoring in week 5. That can really buoy you for a while. The last 3 games that he played, and week 11 he didn't go, but he was been, subpar is probably a nice way to say it. I would like to see my guys hitting kind of the plateau right now, rather than going the opposite way, because the touchdowns, like you said, haven't been there for rushing. The rushing yardage, it really hasn't been phenomenal either. You can expect 50, 60 yards. That's fine. Yeah, and that really does help his numbers not be bad. But if you're only throwing 1 touchdown, you need a lot. And I guess the question would be, where do you actually rank him? Who is a bigger risk to start than him?
Problem is, I think I still rank him like top 5. I honestly do, because of the potential. So I have a hard time not playing him in most situations. I have a I have a team.
I'm very surprised by top 5. I thought you were going to be like, he's top 10 no matter what.
No, I think I'm ranking him top 5 yet. And we'll see. It's
this week against Cleveland that he just did 11 points against.
I think I'm going to probably.
It's only 2 weeks. The only good thing that you can make an argument for, at least with me, at least this week, is he saw what they were doing to him 2 weeks ago, so they're not going to change the game plan all that much, and they can figure it out. They can have a different offensive plan, maybe.
We'll pull this up. I'm actually curious. I'm very curious what the consensus is. Let me pull this up here. I have no clue where the consensus has him.
I would be shocked if he was in the top 5.
Yeah, let's see here. Let's see, where do they have him?
My guess is he's going to be number 9.
All right, let's see. Week 14 rankings. Let's go. Where are we?
Like 7.
Lamar. Let's see. 4th.
What?
Yeah. So it's
Why?
Yeah, he's 4th in consensus right now. It's early consensus. It's early. I mean, it can change, but he's 4th currently. Yeah.
That just doesn't.
Well, I'm guessing maybe some of it's some matchups. Like maybe there's guys that might, with good matchups, might jump him. Like Stafford playing against Arizona at Arizona. That's one where he doesn't probably jump up.
Okay,
Mahomes has just been
starting,
Mahomes.
Are you starting Stafford over Lamar this week or no? Is a bad matchup. There's no doubt about that. But Lamar has a.
I would think
for
about
him
it.
a bad
I would
matchup as
think
well.
about it. I would think about it for sure.
I would
Probably
definitely
think about it.
Stafford.
I don't know if I think I'd end up throwing Lamar out there, but I'd think about Stafford.
Really?
Yeah. Other ones up. I'll say the top 10 guys. So Stafford was 10th in consensus right now. Taysom Hill's at 9. I mean,
yeah, I probably won't go that crazy.
Yeah.
I love Taysom this week. I do, but it does feel it would be that would be relatively close for me though. But I think Lamar would be over.
Tom Brady's 8th playing against Buffalo.
I still put Tom Brady out there.
Even against Buffalo? Okay. Probably go him.
Buffalo.
Yep.
Yeah. I just ride or die with that guy.
Right, so let's drop Lamar to 5th. Aaron Rodgers playing against Chicago. Yeah, I think he needs to be ahead of Lamar. Yeah, I'd play Aaron Rodgers over Lamar.
Definitely.
So let's drop Lamar to 6. Patrick Mahomes. He's playing against the Raiders, who he lit up.
Yeah, you definitely play Mahomes.
So I'm playing Mahomes.
Raiders
so
Lamar,
maybe Lamar's about 7, because after that, I'm not playing Kirk Cousins over him. I'm not playing.
What about
Russ.
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen's 1, Kyler's 2, and Herbert's 3.
Oh, that's
so.
Okay.
I think I drop.
Say the whole thing. I guess
I would drop Lamar to like 7. Yeah, probably 7.
The only other one I'm going to ask about, and he has been extremely hot and cold, but Dak.
So Dak, Dak too. I think I'd put Dak over him. That drops Lamar to 8.
Okay, see,
Dak
I'm okay with that.
Dak's currently 5th in consensus playing against Washington. Yeah, so I move Dak up, I move Mahomes up, I move Rodgers up, I move Brady up. I drop Lamar to 8, 1 spot ahead of Tate. Oh, and you'd probably move Stafford up ahead of him. So you're probably moving Stafford to 8, Lamar 9, and Taysom 10. So 8 or 9 for Lamar. Yeah, you're about right.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, cool.
So that's about.
Like, am I taking crazy pills?
So those are about the guys you'd play over him: Josh Allen, Kyler, Herbert, Dak, Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, maybe Stafford.
If
you're feeling crazy, Taysom.
Yeah, consensus is number 4 at the moment, though. So I'm sure he'll move down a spot or two, but he probably will be higher than what we think. So moving past this week, even.
Yeah.
Are you how much is your confidence level that he will play, say not even next week, we'll say the few weeks after that is going to be into the playoffs? Is he a top 5 QB or not?
Well, this week is going to tell me a lot. If he comes through with another poor week, man, I can't keep ranking him up there. I can't keep trusting him, because then I'm going to start but the problem is I don't know who you look at. Then you start looking at maybe Joe Burrow ahead of him, right? There isn't a lot of guys to move ahead of him. It's hard to get Lamar beyond like 10th, 11th, in the ranks. It really is. But you would start to think about it and play other guys over him, possibly. But it's hard to get him beyond like 10th, 11th in the ranks, honestly. It is tough. It is tough to get him down there. But we'll see. We'll see what he does this weekend. Let's see what he does against Cleveland. If he plays poorly, if he plays poorly, I'm not in the playoffs, Jeff. That's how it is. So
that's a good point. Here, my last question I have for you that relates exactly to this, and someone else that has been struggling a lot, Russell Wilson. If Lamar, and I don't know why you would have both of these guys on your team, it's probably a non, but just for argument's sake, if Wilson has a good game. Lamar has a bad game. Are you saying that you would rather go with Wilson for the playoff run than Lamar?
If Wilson comes to play, I probably would start looking at that.
Okay, it's against Houston.
Yep.
It should be a good matchup.
After that, he plays at Los Angeles, at the Rams. I don't love that.
Yes, but then he does go Chicago. Detroit.
Yeah. Depends. Let's see how Russ looks, because maybe that finger's getting better. So
that's gonna be the hard one though, because Houston is an easy, or should be a good matchup.
Yeah.
Cleveland, even though it should be fine, it's a bad matchup for Lamar, obviously. So do you look at that and say that's a matchup based, or do you say this is how they're playing right now?
Well, right now this week, if Russ had been playing better, I would be playing Russ over Lamar in a normal. If he had come back and was old Russell Wilson, you'd be playing Russell Wilson.
Do you have both of them on the team?
No. I have them on separate teams, but
okay.
I'm playing Taysom over Russ in another league. So
okay.
Yep. And then I have the other. Okay. So the other one, we'll see what I feel like doing with the Dak thing. I have Dak and I have Lamar on a team. And that's our dynasty league. I have Dak. I have Lamar. Currently I've penciled in Lamar.
Dak has such a sweet 3-game run.
I think I got to switch that.
Dak has such a sweet 3-game run. Washington, New York Giants, Washington.
Man, ESPN projections even. Wow. Lamar 25.4. Dak 23.9.
Yeah, where are they getting that from? I feel like that is you're bumping that up because they want him to hit his season average. Or something.
I just switched in Dak for now. We'll see. That's coming. I'm going to be going.
I think that's the right play. I mean, Washington's not good. They're they're dead last, right? Dead last against the pass.
They are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's a Dak move, man.
Yeah, I have Dak in the lineup, so we'll see how it goes. All right, there we go. Lamar, it's a wait and see approach, honestly, at this point.
We won't know.
So, all right, that'll do it for today. Talk to you guys next time.